Good morning, cozies, and welcome back to my channel. On today's vlog, we're going to be having a little bit of a productive day, if you will, because I have a lot of errands to run today. So I figured I'd take you guys along with me, and also I'm going to be starting my first book of the month, which is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I have so much excitement around this book just because I've hyped it up in my mind for so long. And yeah, I'm going to start that today and hopefully finish it today. Maybe, we don't know, but I feel like this month, in order to kind of keep myself on track, I'm going to be filming myself reading all of the books that I have on my TBR. So yeah, let's go. So before we head out, I wanted to show you guys my fit. So I'm wearing a plain little blue t-shirt and some jeans and white sneakers. But what really has me obsessed with my outfit is honestly my accessories. So I got this little bag as well as this hat at Target. And I don't know, I think they're so cute because like I feel so bookish in them. And I feel like there's no better outfit than this to kind of like go run errands in. And honestly, I'm such a hat girl. But I'm obsessed with that, so let's head out. Alrighty guys, so this is technically my second stop of the day, and I don't think I filmed the first part, which was dropping off my laundry, which I did, so that's my first thing off my list of things to do. But now we're at Reader's Corner, and my goal is to hopefully sell this little stack of books that I have here with me, so that way I can hopefully find some other used books to take home with me. So that is my second stop, and then right after this I'm gonna stop at this coffee shop that's literally down the road. It is called Cup of Joe's, and they have my favorite coffee beans there, so that is going to be my third stop. So let's get off the car and hopefully sell some books. Alrighty guys, so I just got my coffee from Cup of Joe's. I am so excited. I ended up deciding to do a coffee latte and it's flavor Milky Way. So it has like a little chocolate. I think it might even have a little bit of caramel in there. But let's give it a taste test. Oh, so good, so good. I'm so excited. So now that we are officially in my car and I've had my stops, I did want to give you guys an update on what ended up happening at the bookstore I stopped at. Now, they did not purchase any of my books, unfortunately. And I honestly should have expected this just because they typically like to purchase books within the sci-fi or fantasy genres, and that's mostly what their inventory is made of. And the books that I brought with me were more on the thriller / suspense side of things. So no success there. But I did end up picking up 2 books, and let me get them so you can see. The first book is The Sun and Its Shade. This is by Piper C.J. And I did end up purchasing the first book at a bookstore crawl I had in Georgia some time ago. So I'm happy that I was actually able to find the second book at a used bookstore as well, because it's a good deal, and now I have the first and second book. And I also bought A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan. I've actually had this one on my radar for a minute now, but I didn't want to purchase it new just because I felt like it was more going to be a one-time read for me. So I'm happy that I was able to find it at a used bookstore. So those were the 2 books I was able to haul at this bookstore. Now I want to head home because I do have some things that I need to get done there before we pick up my read of the day. So yeah, let's head out. Alrighty guys, so I just finished cleaning and now I just got my mail and I am going to be opening some books that I ordered on ThriftBooks about 2 weeks ago. These are some books that I read when I was in middle school, and to this day I still really enjoy reading them. So I cannot wait to show you which ones they are. Honestly, even now I feel like these books are just so good, just because I do feel like books back when I was growing up were so much deeper and like better written in some way. I don't know how, but specifically for kind of like that young adult / preteen age. But here's the first one. I actually still have the original copy, but it's so beat up from me rereading it because these are such cute little fast reads. But this one is the first one. This was a 5-star read for me when I was younger, and it's still very much a 5-star read now. It's called Missing Since Monday, and it's about this girl whose little sister essentially disappears one Monday afternoon. When she goes to go pick her up, she is nowhere to be found. And her story was so good. I remember picking it up originally at like a thrift store and taking it home with me and being absolutely obsessed with it. So this was one that I ordered because I wanted to have a better copy of it, and this one definitely came out to be like in excellent condition. So super, super excited. Now, the next one is actually a series. This, I can't even tell you how much I love this series. It is low-key one of my favorites, and let me just pull it all out so that way you guys can see. So this is the first book in that series. It's called Face on the Milk Carton, and this is by Carolyn Coney, I think is her name. to give you a little bit of what the story is about, it's about a girl who is in high school yet again, and she's always kind of had this issue about wanting to be special and not being the same boring person she considers herself to be. And in this story, she happens to be one day eating lunch with her friends at school, and she comes across her face as a child on the back of a milk carton that is dedicated to missing children. Even now, I still gobble this whole series up. It is just so good, and I highly recommend it to anybody who's looking for something maybe that's not trending right now, that is like, you know, old school, if you will, because this is definitely old school. Like, you will be reading about her being on the phone, using a landline, all of that. So highly recommend. This is like, all of these books that I ordered were 5-star reads for me as a child, but even today they still continue to be 5-star reads for me. But here's the first one, just so you can see the cover. Here's the second book. This one's called Whatever Happened to Janie. The next one is The Voice on the Radio. Then we have What Janie Found. And then you have Janie Face to Face. Low-key, the covers are so good. That's why I wanted to get the originals, because they do have like the modern style editions now, but no, I wanted the original covers the same way I read them whenever I was in middle school. And then another book that I read when I was in middle school was Romeo and Julio. I don't know, this one was such a funny one, because at this time was whenever IMing or like chat rooms or things of that sort were becoming really popular. I remember having AOL as a kid and chatting on those chat rooms, which looking back probably wasn't like the best thing. But this one kind of takes place in high school as well. It's by Sharon M. Draper, and anything by Sharon M. Draper is so good in my opinion. But I felt like it was such an intense and angsty story. And yeah, if you haven't read anything by her, I would also recommend this one. One of her more popular books is called Forged by Fire, and it's absolutely still one of my favorite books. And I don't know, I feel like I'm going through a stage in my life where I'm just collecting all the books that when I was like in middle school, I absolutely gobbled it up, because I want kind of those hits of nostalgia to really come through for me sometimes. And I feel like collecting these has really been like one of my passions, because I genuinely have to hunt for them in order to find them. That was my meal for the day. So now I think what I'm gonna do is go to Target, because I realized as I was cleaning that I'm out of some of my cleaning products. I also want to buy a vacuum cleaner, because I do have a couple, but I feel like I need one that's like stronger. So I'm gonna go purchase that, and then I may end up stopping at TJ Maxx, because you know, it's Saturday and I'm in the mood to go shopping. So I'm gonna do that, and then after all that's said and done, I'll go and do a little reading this afternoon for The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. So yeah, let's head out again. Okay, cozies, I'm officially home. I did take a little bit longer than I expected, but that's perfectly okay, because it's almost sunset, and I do feel like the timing is going to be matching up with the story that I'm going to be reading. Now, this is considered a gothic romantasy. It is by Rachel Gillig. It is The Night and the Moth. And it is kind of her next duology after her One Dark Window duology. And I do think that they take place in two different separate worlds, which I'm super excited about, because I always love going into new worlds with new characters. Now, Sybil is the main character of the story, and she is a diviner. And it seems like she's on this quest, if you will. And in her quest, she's with her group of diviner sisters, it seems, and they slowly start to disappear until the point that it seems like she's on her own, and she now has to turn to this knight who is a heretic and absolutely does not respect what Sybil does. So they find themselves on this quest together. I'm super excited. I'm hoping that it turns out to be kind of a little bit of an enemies to lovers, but I don't know. I don't know anything besides it's a gothic romantasy, so we'll see if that's a trope in the story. If not, that's perfectly okay, but that's kind of what it sounds like. I'm super excited, so let's start reading.
I've been wondering about you. one look and I'd get caught too. 'Cause there's something about you, and you know it too. All I do is think about you. Your eyes, your scent, your touch is all I dream of. Now I can't live without you.
Alright guys, a quick update. I am on chapter 3 and I'm loving the writing. Oh my god, I haven't read this kind of writing in a minute. I feel like when it comes to gothic romantasy, Rachel delivers every time. Also, I want to say the fact that I love that we get to meet the knight right off the gate, and I see how he kind of is part of the story because he is essentially a protector of the king who comes to visit the Divineers at their castle or what have you. And I also was surprised to see that there's gargoyles in the story. For some reason, I was not expecting that, but I love that because I haven't read any books with gargoyles in them in like a minute. But I also love how we kind of get the setup of how the Divineers work and also the history behind them, because I feel like sometimes that can be a little bit dragged out whenever you're reading these kind of stories, and Rachel Gillig gives it to us at the very beginning so that way we know how it all works. So I love that. Now, for Sybil herself, she sounds very strong, like a very curious soul, and also very proud. So I kind of like her energy, I won't lie. I'm hoping that I continue to like her as a character as the story develops. Sorry if you guys can hear a noise outside. But either way, I'm loving this. I'm loving this so much. So let's keep reading. Guys, I love how they hate each other. Oh my god, I need to stop to say that because honestly, I love how Rory cannot stand to see the sight of her and what she stands for and how he questions every single thing about who she is. And then Sybil, she hates every moment of being questioned and literally cannot stand this man. I love it. I love it. I feel like I haven't read something like this in a minute, and I'm so excited because I hope that she drags this on, because I love whenever writers do this and they do it perfectly, and I'm getting that right now. Please don't ruin it for me. Please let us stay like this for a minute. I want it to be like this, especially since there's a second book coming out. I'm hoping that this whole like I hate you type energy stays for a minute. But let me keep reading. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm having such a good time with this book. It is so good. I cannot lie to you. I haven't felt this good about a read in a minute. Now, the sun is almost set. As you can tell, it's getting darker and I need to turn on my candles. But first I need to change because I feel like this is going to be a really long night because I plan to finish this book tonight. There is literally no way I'm not going to. It's just that good. So I'm going to go change and then turn on my candles and then get back to reading. So yeah.
We're lying there on the bed above the sheets. No one's saying a word, but I can feel your heartbeat. I stare into your eyes and you into mine, lying perfectly still, like we are frozen in time. I don't want this to be over, don't want the morning to come. My head upon your shoulder, wishing that you would say.
Okay guys, I've made it to chapter 14 and so much has happened since chapter 7, and I don't really know how to explain it all without giving any spoilers, but let me kind of tell you how I'm feeling so far. So, Rory and Sybil's relationship right now is still very much on brand. I feel like there definitely is that growing chemistry between them, but it's still not like a I trust you or any sort of friendly, banter back and forth, which is really nice. I really like that we're definitely developing mutual respect in some regard. So I like that. When it comes to the world building, so good. I love it. There's so much going on. There's so many truths, so many different stories and backgrounds. And I love how Sybil, I feel like I get why this is the cover now, because in a way, I feel like, I don't know if you can see, but like there's stuff covering your eyes. I feel like it's almost like a metaphor. Like she's learning a lot. And I'll keep it vague like that so I don't spoil it for anyone. But it's so good. Now, having said that, I don't know how many more check-ins I'm going to have after this, just because I feel like we're getting into what is the main plot of the story. So I may end up just reading for the rest of the night and then checking in with you guys in the morning once I finish it, because it's already like 10 o'clock and I'm probably going to end up finishing this at 12 or like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I want to be fully coherent whenever I give you guys my next update. But it is so good. I'm so enjoying it. The chemistry is off the charts when it comes to Sybil and Rory. And I really like the side characters as well. I'm actually super excited now to see where the story goes with the second book. And, I don't know. I might end up having to buy the ebook because I had planned to wait for the paperback copy to be released. But now I don't think I'm going to be able to wait. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling. So far, it's definitely feeling like a 5-star read for me. I'll let you guys know in the morning.
I think you should stay. I think you should stay. I want you to say that it's getting late. I want you to stay. I want you to stay.
Hey cozies, I finished the book. I finished it. I loved it. It was so good. And I have so many thoughts around it, but I don't want to spoil anything. I feel like it's so hard when it comes to these types of books because, one, there's so much packed into this little book that I wish I could go into so much detail about. But I'll kind of give you some of my emotions that I felt. So, I definitely feel all of the dark energy or the gothic energy that Rachel Gillig essentially put into this book. I was literally obsessed with it. I feel like I haven't read a good gothic romantasy in a minute, so maybe that's why I just felt so good reading this. The writing was so beautiful. Like, I could not, with all the ways that everybody kind of went off onto their beautiful little tangents, and I was just like, oh, why don't people write like this more often? Like, it's so gorgeous. Like, I love the way that it envelops me. It's like a bedtime story. Also, the characters, all of them are so good in their own way. And I think because I grew to love so many of the characters, some of the things that happened towards the end of the story really took me by surprise. But I will say that I should have seen it coming. Because while I was shocked, I was more like, the audacity. That's kind of like what I felt, because I was like, I don't want to say too much because I was just like, I trusted you. Why would you do this? And it's like a perfect gothic romantasy because there were obviously moments of romance, tension, angst. And there was also moments of heartbreak, of understanding, of kind of feeling what I felt was happening to Sybil, which was like having essentially like that band removed from her eyes. And I felt every single part of that in this story, and I love that. And I will say that also, I don't want to ruin anything, but one of my favorite characters is her gargoyle. And well, technically he's not hers. I loved him so much. I loved all his wisdom, all his kind and funny moments. And I really felt like having him as an additional side character made the story 10 times better. So that's one thing. And then I also loved the build-up between Rory and Sybil. Like, I loved seeing them go from hating each other to coming to a mutual respect, coming to being in a tough spot, because like they were on opposite sides of a belief system, I guess you could say. And I really loved seeing their development individually and in the relationship. So that was so beautiful. And yeah, there's so much I could say about this book, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Please read this. Like, this is so good. Like, if you want to step into like reading Gothic romantasy, I would say that this book would be one that you definitely want to pick up. And also, I read her One Dark Window duology, and it was so good. I loved it too. It was like 5 stars. And this is 5 stars, just in case I haven't said it. This is a 5-star read. But I loved this story so much more than One Dark Window. And I know that might be like controversial to some people who love One Dark Window, but I'm being completely honest. It was just the writing, the comedic relief. It was the energy that this book gave. Like, I felt like it was so well balanced, and I loved it. So yeah, pick this up if you haven't read a Gothic romantasy and you kind of want to try it out. This is like a perfect like book to pick up. But now I have to wait for book 2, and I hate that. I need book 2 in my hands like yesterday, but I'll be patient. It's going to happen in September, and I thank goodness that I didn't pick this book up sooner, because if not, having to wait like a whole year would have driven me crazy. So I'm looking forward to the new release in this, and I may end up buying the ebook because I don't think I'll have the patience to wait for the paperback edition the way I did for this one. Even though I will wait to purchase the physical copy, I will end up probably buying the ebook just because I need to know what happens like right away, like once it's released. Like, I need to know what happens to Sybil, what happens to Rory, what happens to everybody who is a character in the story. So that was my review. It was a 5-star read. It was one of the best 5-star reads I've read in a minute. I love it. I love it because it was like a perfect Gothic romantasy in my opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know it turned into a little bit of a reading vlog. It was meant to be also a very much a productive vlog. So it's a little bit of a mix of both. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, why don't you hit the like button down below? It really does help my channel. And also, if this is your first time here, or if you're returning and you haven't subscribed, guys, come on, subscribe so that way you guys don't miss any of my bookish content. But yeah, honestly, it was the perfect weekend, and hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next one.